The death toll from Toronto's wave of gun violence continued to mount on Wednesday, hitting 25 for the year. Here's a chronological look at this year's shootings. On Tuesday, January 9th, around 8:15 p.m., police were called to a shooting at 58 Waterton Road. Shaquille Wallace, 22, was found on the street suffering from gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Nasruddin Nasir, 26, and Terrell Carr, 24, were shot and killed after a man approached and fired shots at their car around 12:40 a.m. on Friday, January 19th, in the area of West Dean Park Drive and the East Mall, north of Rathburn Road. 2 other men in the car with them survived. Police put out a Canada-wide warrant for 21-year-old Ubaid Said of Toronto. Ishaq Omar, 36, was found lying in the street with a gunshot wound after police were called to Burbank Drive near Bayview and Finch Avenues on 11:15 p.m. on Thursday, February 8. It was later reported that 2 men were parked in an SUV when one was thrown out of the vehicle. A black 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee with license plate CAD 350 was seen fleeing the scene. Onyx Stewart, 21, was shot near Old Kingston Road and Military Trail around 1 a.m. on Thursday, February 15. He was rushed to hospital, but died of his injuries. When police arrived, his body was lying on the sidewalk outside a late-night establishment. Investigators said there was a group involved in some kind of assault leading up to the shooting. Aaron Sadakaran, 21, has been charged with second-degree murder. Sean Kinghorn, 44, was shot in the area of Jane Street and Shoreham Drive on Friday, March 2. Police were called at 11:53 p.m. and he was transported to hospital, where he died shortly after arrival. Around 5:45 p.m. on Saturday, March 10, police were called to a home on Mount Olive Drive in Etobicoke, where Edwayne Vidal, 31, was found suffering from gunshot wounds. He was transported to hospital, where he died. Nnamdi Agba, 26, was walking toward his parked car in a Toronto community housing complex at Scarletwood Court in Etobicoke around 11 p.m. on Friday, March 16, when 2 men approached him from behind and shot him in the back. They got into a waiting SUV and fled the scene. 3 men have been charged. Police have said that Mr. Agba was an innocent bystander caught in a dispute between residents of 2 neighborhoods. At 10:08 p.m. on Saturday, March 17, police responded to a shooting at 33 Samora Road. Tan Ngo, 32, and Ruma Amar, 29, were discovered outside a commercial building, suffering from gunshot wounds. Mr. Ngo was pronounced dead at the scene. Ms. Amar was transported to hospital, where she died shortly after arrival. Brian Thomas, 32, from Peterborough, was found suffering from a gunshot wound in a parking lot near Victoria Park Avenue and Highway 401 on Friday, April 6. Shortly after 8 p.m. a white subcompact vehicle was seen fleeing on Terraview Boulevard. Christopher Reed, 38, was driving around 11:45 a.m. on Monday, May 7, when he pulled up next to a vehicle on Longfield Road. A suspect in that car fired multiple shots at him through the window. Mr. Reed continued driving and veered onto the front lawn of a home. When police arrived, they found Mr. Reed suffering from gunshot wounds. He later died in hospital. Muhammad Garda, 17, was shot inside a vehicle in the area of Milford Haven Drive and Greenock Avenue on Sunday, May 20. Around 3 a.m. an 18-year-old was also shot, but was rushed to hospital and survived. Police have said the shooting was targeted. Jaden Jackson, 28, was shot after leaving the Pick 6 restaurant, near Yonge and Wellington Streets around 9 p.m. on Sunday, May 20. As he was walking with a woman, a car drove toward them. 2 suspects got out and started firing at Mr. Jackson. He ran down a parking garage ramp, where he tripped and fell. The 2 suspects, as well as the driver of the car, continued firing at him. They then fled. He was pronounced dead on scene. Nogent Sutherson, a 21-year-old York University student, was shot and killed outside Lester B. Pearson Collegiate Institute in Scarborough just before midnight on Sunday, May 27. Matthew Stikos, a 37-year-old tech CEO, was gunned down from behind while walking at the corner of Bay Street and Yorkville Avenue around 11:30 p.m. on Monday, May 28. The shooter fled in a silver or gray Mercedes. Police called the shooting an unprovoked attack on a defenseless man. Pickering teen Israel Edwards, 18, was shot and killed in Yonge and Dundas Square around 11 p.m. on Wednesday, May 30. He was transported to hospital, where he died a short time later. Rodney Regan, 45, was shot in a townhouse complex near Birmingham Street and Bradham Path in South Etobicoke on Tuesday, June 5 around 11:30 p.m. He was transported to hospital and died a short time later. Janice Nyorko, 31, was sitting in the back seat of a car, on her way home from a funeral with friends, when she was hit in a drive-by shooting. Investigators said the vehicle drove away, firing several other shots on its way. Police said there was nothing to suggest they were targeted. This is a case of individuals coming from one neighborhood of the city to another neighborhood and shooting the first residents that they see, said Detective David Dickinson. Patrick McKenna, 20, and Dalbert Allison, 40, were shot inside an Etobicoke home, near Lightwood Drive and Sanigan Road around 2 a.m. on Sunday, June 24. Police say two suspects knocked on the door, firing shots as soon as the door opened. Brent Young, 41, was found shot to death in a Toronto community housing building on Sherbourne Street near Dundas Street East after 2:30 a.m. on June 25. Police have charged 26-year-old Warren Farrell with first-degree murder. A second man, 39-year-old Mark Thompson, is wanted by police. Javon Smart, 21, also known as Smoke Dog, and Ernest Kosi Modekwe, 28, also known as Koba Prime, were shot outside Cube nightclub at Queen and Peter Streets around 8 p.m. on Saturday, June 30. A woman was also shot, but survived. Investigators say two suspects were seen running from the area, and may have fled in a black SUV or a white car. Kensington victim, unknown. 4 men were shot around 10:30 p.m. on Sunday, July 1, in Kensington Market, near College and Augusta Streets. All 4 were taken to hospital and one victim has since died. Police have not released his identity. Police said multiple suspects were seen fleeing the scene.